released in 1966, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, is a movie that packs a punch. It's not just a story, it's an experience. As the plot unfolds, you'll find yourself drawn into the lives of George, Martha, Nick, and Honey, witnessing a night of intense emotional turmoil. But don't be fooled amidst the drama. There are moments that will make you laugh, gasp, and maybe even shed a tear. Ever wondered how a seemingly ordinary gathering could spiral into chaos? This film holds the answers. Keep watching because there are plenty of funny, shocking, and sad facts waiting to be uncovered. You won't want to miss a single minute. So, do you have a cherished memory or personal experience related to this movie? Share it with us in the comment entrance below. We'd love to hear your stories and memories. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf is a movie that might not interest everyone, even though it's famous. Directed by Mike Nichols, the film talks openly about tough subjects like drinking too much, hurting your spouse, mental illness, having an abortion, cheating, not being able to have kids, and being very sexual. It came out in 1966 and was the first movie to get a rating based on age. It stars Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton, who play Martha and George, a couple who fight a lot. The story happens in one night, mostly at Martha and George's house, where they argue a ton because they're drunk and unhappy. Some acting is good, especially Elizabeth Taylor as Martha, but not everyone might like it. The writing has some problems, with parts that don't seem necessary and don't help the story or characters. Even though it's not perfect, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf is an important movie. It broke rules and made people talk about relationships and what society expects. Elizabeth Taylor does an amazing job as Martha, showing how talented she is. In the end, not everyone will love this movie, but it's interesting to see how people interact and what society thinks is normal. During the filming of another movie in 1984, he encountered severe neck pain, forcing him to wear a neck brace during rehearsals. The heavy makeup used in that film was meant to make him look older, but it also added to his discomfort. Despite the challenges, his portrayal in that movie earned him much praise, being considered one of his finest performances, marked by its subtlety. Later, during the shooting of The Klansman, he battled alcoholism, which significantly affected his ability to work. Scenes had to be adjusted to accommodate his condition, with many shots showing him sitting or lying down due to his inability to stand. Some scenes even depict him struggling to speak clearly, and he confessed to having no recollection of filming parts of the movie. On set, Dame Elizabeth Taylor and Sandy Dennis engaged in a peculiar competition, seeing who could produce the loudest belch, with Dennis consistently emerging as the victor. These anecdotes offer intriguing insights into the behind-the-scenes dynamics of the film, adding depth to the actors' experiences. The film stirred up some controversies during its production. Richard Burton's decision to portray his character with an English accent drew heavy criticism. Interestingly, Burton had previously won a Tony Award for his role in the original production of Camelot on Broadway. Despite turning down an offer to reprise his role in the film adaptation, he later joined the 1980 Broadway revival, which encountered its own challenges. During the road tour, Burton's debilitating bursitis led to his replacement by Richard Harris. Additionally, cinematographer Harry Stradling Sr. faced replacement by Haskell Wexler due to attempts to beautify Elizabeth Taylor's appearance, indicating the complexities behind the scenes. These instances shed light on the dynamics of the film's production and the challenges faced by its key players. In his early years, he attended Exeter College, Oxford, as a Royal Air Force cadet during World War II. Although promised a return to complete his education post-war, he pursued acting instead after demobilization in 1947. Almost 3 decades later, he revisited Oxford to teach poetry for a semester. In 1972, a chance encounter at a pub found him aiding Bernard Lee, who was struggling with personal and financial hardships, with a generous gift that helped Lee overcome his difficulties. Following the tragic passing of Montgomery Clift, his wife's close friend, before filming of Reflections in a Golden Eye, he briefly considered assuming Clift's role, but ultimately passed it to Marlon Brando, forging a friendship between Brando and his wife. These events provided intriguing insights into his life and relationships, showcasing the generosity and complexities behind the scenes. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, released in 1966, is a movie that digs deep into the ups and downs of human relationships. Directed by Mike Nichols, it stars Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton as Martha and George, a couple dealing with lots of arguments and emotional struggles, often fueled by drinking. It's worth noting that both Elizabeth Taylor and Sandy Dennis won Academy Awards for their acting. The movie started as a play on Broadway in 1962, with different actors playing the main roles during different shows. This gave audiences different perspectives on the characters. Making the movie wasn't easy. Richard Burton's choice to use an English accent for his character got some negative feedback. Plus, there were changes in the people working behind the scenes, like the cinematographer. Even with its faults, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf is an important movie that gets people talking about what society expects and how complicated people can be. It's a film that still connects with viewers, giving a real and honest look at marriage and figuring out who you are. Marlon Brando, known for his acting prowess, formed a unique bond with Elizabeth Taylor during the filming of Reflections in a Golden Eye. His gesture of accepting Taylor's award from the New York Film Critics Circle and personally delivering it to her in Africa raised eyebrows, especially for Taylor's husband, Richard Burton. Despite rumors of a fistfight between Burton and Brando, fueled by jealousy over Taylor, no concrete evidence emerged from Burton's extensive diaries. Burton, recognizing Brando's talent, mused about his suitability for silent films, attributing it to his distinctive voice. Burton and Taylor's close friendship extended to their vacations with Yugoslavia's president, Marshal Josip Broz Tito. Their frequent visits to Tito's villa in Yugoslavia highlighted their camaraderie. Burton later portrayed Tito in a Yugoslavian film, The Battle of Sutjeska, further solidifying their bond. Burton's passing elicited a controversial headline in the Times, reflecting on his career choices. Despite the perceived negativity, it echoed sentiments expressed by Burton's mentor, John Gielgud, who praised Burton's talent but lamented his unconventional career path. These reflections offer glimpses into Burton's multifaceted persona, showcasing his relationships, career decisions, and the complexities of fame. Elizabeth Taylor changed her appearance a lot for her role in the movie. She gained about 30 pounds to look like a regular middle-aged wife. She did this because she wanted to play her part as realistically as possible. In 2007, the American Film Institute said the movie was the 67th best movie ever made. This shows that the movie has had a big effect and is very important in the history of movies. This movie was the first to have a label from the MPAA that said, "No one under 18 will be admitted unless accompanied by his parent." This means that the movie has themes and scenes that are only suitable for adults. While they were making the movie, they faced many problems and arguments. One of the issues was Richard Burton choosing to speak with an English accent for his character. Some people didn't like this choice, but despite these problems, everyone worked hard and made the movie. Even though the movie has its flaws, it's still an important part of cinema. It makes people talk about relationships and society. Elizabeth Taylor's acting as Martha and the way the movie talks about human relationships keep people thinking. It's a movie that makes you feel something and think about things.